for youth. She is well acquainted with getting people of all ages interested in family history. She currently serves as the marketing director for the Family History Guide Association. She is the admin for a number of popular Facebook groups that have to do with family history activities, Latter-day Saint activities, Temple and family history. So we're looking forward to it, and we are going to have everyone muted during the presentation, and then at the end, we'll save some time so that we can do some Q&A. So feel free to ask Angel any questions or lend your comments for the presentation. So with that, we'll go ahead and turn the time over to Angel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob. Everyone, I'm so glad to see you all here. And we do have a chat option for this. So you all know it's not easy to present on Zoom. So interaction is awesome. So anytime you want to stick something in there, a question, or just to let me know that you can hear me or that, you know, things are going well, just let me know, okay? And I do appreciate this opportunity to be here. I do have to ask one of the Bobs, Lorna from Canada. Lorna Reed wanted to watch this, and I don't know if she got the link. So anyway, if one of you can, I don't know what to do, maybe go on your computer and see if you can give it to her.
No worries, I'll send it to her.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, so as we start today talking about how to get the youth interested in doing family history, think back to when our prophet became the prophet, and he had an opportunity to do the first broadcast as the president of the church. And what did he do? He spoke to the youth, and he gave them invitations and promises, and it was beautiful. But he spoke to the youth. Why do you think he spoke to them first? We all have our ideas about that. We know, everyone here knows, that the youth are up against some pretty tough things in the world right now. And they need family history in their lives. They do. And it's not always easy to get youth interested, is it? So that's why we're talking about that here tonight. We are going to talk about ways to get them involved, excited. The prophet also, in a video called Make the Sabbath a Delight by Finding Your Ancestors, tells us that in addition to spending time with and strengthening our families, it is a true delight to do family history on the Sabbath. That's what we want our youth to feel, that family history is a true delight, not just on the Sabbath, but all the time. So how do we do that? Our youth have been raised with intensity, right? From Big Bird, singing the alphabet, to video games and learning math with a handheld device. You know, they are just into intensity and media and technology. And somehow we've got to meet them on their level. It's a different game with the youth, right? My husband and I, when we were raising our kids, there was a little booklet by the church called Age Characteristics of Children. And it started with the primary kids at 18 months. And it said, these are some of the characteristics of children that age. They cry easily, they talk in monosyllables, they like to be independent, but they don't know what to do with their independence, and all those kinds of things. And we thought, okay, we can deal with that. And then we thought, well, what do you do? Because it went through all the age characteristics of primary children. And then it got to the teens and stopped, because primary stopped, preteens actually. And so we looked at each other and we thought, you know what you really do is just start over, because teens talk in monosyllables, they cry easily, they like to say no, all those things at 18 months old. So there we are, and we have to deal with that, right? Teens aren't always easy to get interested in family history, but I have been so impressed, as probably you have too, with our teenagers of today and how they are grasping the concepts of blessings come from doing family history. and they're loving to serve, and they're, so many of them are interested already. So let's talk about how to get those that are on the edge, on the fence, how to get them interested in doing family history and loving it, and just realizing how it's not boring. It is fun. It is the greatest adventure, because what do youth thrive on? If they're going to do something, they want it to be relevant, right? It has to mean something to them, not just now, but, well, now. It has to be relevant. Like, what is happening to them in their life right now, and how will this benefit them? They need to find in their activities that they do some meaning, right? And a purpose, and their activities need to be engaging and fun. And I know that there might be those that say, just give it to them, tell them it's a responsibility, and they just need to do it. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way with youth. We need to meet them on their level and find ways to make family history engaging and fun and purposeful and anything but boring, right? So, teens, here we go. I think, and you probably agree with this, that we have at our fingertips the most amazing tools to use for family history these days. And like Elder Bednar said, these youth have been trained to text and to tweet. And he said, but it's more than that. Because they have that ability and the capability to do all these things, it makes it easier and more fun for them to do family history. So we know what it does to benefit them. And somehow it's not a big enough selling point, really, to say to them, okay, you are going to be blessed beyond measure. And you, because you know your family's stories, are going to be more, have better self-esteem and be more able to moderate the effects of life and develop self-confidence and all those things that we know, the power to influence, all of those things. It's not enough to say to a youth, you are going to get all these blessings. You are going to be able to be a better person and have all of these abilities, because they might say, great, and then just go on their merry way. They have to feel that these are meant for them. These promises come true, okay? And to keep that family narrative going all the time is one of the jobs that we as parents and grandparents have. So that as they hear their family stories, they are influenced positively by just hearing the stories. But that's not really enough. We want to get them involved, doing things, not just knowing their ancestors, but serving them, right? Getting that spirit of Elijah into their hearts, which is, as you know, a manifestation of the Holy Ghost bearing witness of the divine nature of the family. We want to wrap them in the promises. We want them to feel it. We want them to just love it and see how it can affect their lives. So let's watch this little video. Let me share my screen here. And it's not this one. Let's get out of that. Hang on, we're almost there. Are you able to hear it okay?
I love when my grandma tells me stories about my ancestors. Their lives are just so fascinating.
Okay, can you hear it okay? Everybody, can you hear? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
And I just love seeing that they push through their trials and they held strong.
You lost your screen, Angel.
You lost it? I lost
Yep.
it? Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's go back here. Let's go to screen. Are we okay now?
Got it.
Great.
I love my grandma tells me stories about my ancestors. Their lives are just so fascinating. And I just love seeing that they pushed through their trials and they held strong, and so I know that I can too.
Right. Okay, so that's one of the reasons for sure that we want our youth to be involved, that they can learn about their ancestors and they can know what price they paid that these youth can have the life they do, but also that they know their stories. They can be influenced by them, right? And we need to tell our youth that they are their own best resource. They know, as Elder Bednar said, how to use these wonderful technology advances that we have available, right? And that they also have a resource in us, all the living people around them. As we share our enthusiasm and our excitement about family history and find ways to fit it into daily life. So it's just part of what we do, that we add it on to routines at home, that we, in fact, I just went to my daughter, she printed something before I came over here, and they were sitting around the table and she was asking them family history questions. And I mean, just, you know, just part of daily life. Then it's not like, okay, let's do family history, kids. It's like, it just pops up, right? So we have other living relatives too that can help. Enlist them, enlist everybody that you can think of to help youth love family history. Grandmas and grandpas, they are jewels and they get it. They want to spread the family history gene. They want to share it. They want to pass on their legacy, right? So we have all of the living people and we have the dead people and we have modern technology. So for a few minutes, I'm going to share my screen and show you our new youth site on the Family History Guide and all the amazing things at our fingertips to help us. Okay, so let's go here. And let's go here to the Family History Guide. And many of you are probably aware and use the Family History Guide. Probably if I asked for a show of hands, you all would. And if not, please check it out. Okay, so we have, let me see if I can get it where I can see it. I don't know what it's doing here, but audio settings, you can go away. There we go. Okay, so on the menu, you can see here that we have a youth section. And basically, it is just for the youth. We have youth activities, how to do photos and stories and activities and family tree, places and culture. You can see all these things on the tabs, right? Apps and sites. But we also have a Latter-day Saint section. I love this. So if you want to know what the prophet has said about gathering Israel and want your youth to know and to have it right here in one spot where they can find the promises, find what the prophet has asked them to do to gather Israel, and then some great activities to put it into their lives. How will you continue to prepare yourself? The sacrifice of time, like we were talking about, to do family history. I'm kind of going fast here, so just check this out. All these great activities and videos that can help youth know what the prophet has asked them to do to gather Israel. Anytime he says you do anything that helps anyone on either side of the veil take a step toward making covenants with God and receiving their essential baptismal and temple ordinances, you are helping to gather Israel. So we've got that section. Then we've got a whole section on taking ancestors to the temple. Okay, so it's right here. Your fingers have been trained by Elder Bednar. The video's right there. He invites the young people to experience the spirit of Elijah. There are beautiful promise videos of all the promises by our leaders. And then the challenge by Elder Anderson, given to the youth at Roots Tech to take as many names to the temple as they do baptisms. Okay, so there's that section, another video on the promised blessings. I mean, if you think about it and you have influence on the youth and they're in your home, show them these promises on the videos, show them this beautiful site, work on it with them. This is my favorite one, well, one of my favorite ones. I love them all, but this one is Activities for Temple and Family History. This one goes right through why we want to do the activities. It talks about how to create videos, how to create activities at home, and gives you the links to everything. That's one thing about the Family History Guide is it's full of links, thousands of links to take you to places that you need to go. So if you want to help youth love family history, here's some ways to do it. Okay, so let's watch one more little video here, the activities overview, and watch for a youth saying why she loves to do family history. Just a second, I don't know what happened here.
They say that a kid's attention span is about a minute longer than his age. I don't know who they are and who these kids are, but our kids don't have an attention span anywhere near that long. So when we're together trying to do family history or family activities, we have to switch activities a lot. And we found that it's most effective when our kids are active in the activities we're doing.
I feel like cooking family recipes that have been handed down from generations can bring us closer together and that I can pass down to my children and generations to come.
I love the Family History Guide. You go to the main website and you're able to click on the Activities tab and it will pull up hundreds of activities that you can do with your family.
Our kids love doing family history. The activities are so exciting to them that they come to us asking for more.
We really like to do activities with our kids to teach them family history because they pay attention more, they're more likely to remember what they've learned and apply it in their lives.
With Google Earth, I'm able to share my experience with my friends and family. I just got back from a service project in Indonesia. So by using Google Earth, I can take them where I served, the places that I ate, and it's been super cool to be able to share my stories but show them around.
As a busy mom, I need things that I don't need to do a lot of preparation for. I need things that are ready to go. My kids can get on there themselves and they can pull up activities, hundreds of activities. To me, that is so invaluable, a way for them to learn.
Late at night, they're asking us to read stories from family journals. And it wasn't just fun for the kids, it was fun for me to bring that into, this is how we spend time together as a family. It's by talking about family, learning about family.
What is your favorite food, Grandma Lee?
These activities have helped me and my family to grow closer together, and while we grow closer and develop relationships, we grow closer to our ancestors. And through that, I've been able to find a foundation in who I am and who I can become.
It seems to give them a greater sense of control in their life. It helps them feel like they're part of something bigger.
Overall, I feel like just spending time with the kids to be able to do these activities it's really created in them a passion for family history.
Family history comes to life when we do activities together in our home.
So you probably caught it. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. That she said when they do family history, it brings them closer and they develop relationships. When we do family history activities that also involve the Lord, it not only brings them closer to their families, but it brings them closer to Him, right? So we have an index right here for Latter-day Saint activities. So you can just go and see what's available, see what fits into your schedule, see what fits with your child or your grandchild that you are trying to help, or your friends. So many of these activities can help keep them on the covenant path. So I want to show you one idea that anybody can do as you, oh, that's interesting. Okay, let's look at, okay, here we go. So,
We lost your audio, Angel.
okay, there we are.
Okay.
Okay, so you didn't hear what I was saying before?
No.
Okay, I'll start right here. Okay, so the Family History Guide is something that everybody can use. And if you didn't know it, it has a new, well, it has a Come Follow Me companion. And so as we're trying to engage our youth, and we have this opportunity for those of us who have youth in our home or have influence over youth, especially grandparents, we have this great site called the Family History, or the Come Follow Me companion. And what it does is it has, and you can find it on the homepage up here under Faiths, or just on the homepage middle. And what it has is family history activities that have to do with every single week of Come Follow Me. And there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 activities to choose from. And so the work is already done for you. And you can just tap into doing that family history activity along with what you're doing already, right? So here's the schedule. And we are, where are we? We're on this week, 11. So here you go. We're studying the Doctrine and Covenants 23 through 26. And here are a ton of ideas, just some that you can adapt and see if they fit what you're trying to do in your family. Talking about music, right? Emma Smith, and all those things. Okay, so you can understand that this is a resource that can help you immensely with your, yeah. It's done. It's amazing. I just absolutely love it. So going back to the youth site then, you can go right to the Come Follow Me companion here. If you can enlighten your youth about this opportunity to study and let them lead out. Say, you know what, family? We are studying this section of the Doctrine and Covenants, and we'd love to do some family history activities this week while we're studying it, what can you come up with? Here's some ideas, and just leave them here. We have included on the youth site a sample, just like the one I just showed you. This one happens to be from the Book of Mormon, so they can catch what it's like, right? What the Family History Guide has in store on the Come Follow Me companion. And we've been careful to put into the youth site for the Latter-day Saints the promises, so the kids can read them. You can read them to them. This is from Elder Renlund right here. You can see that this is from his talk, Family History and Temple Work, Healing and Sealing. And he gives all these beautiful promises for being involved in temple and family history work. So make sure the youth know those and show them the videos also that just enumerate the promised blessings. There's both of them, I think, are on this side right here at the bottom of the temple. Temple and let's see, and family history activities section, right? Okay, so here we go with the rest of the youth site. We'll just kind of go through it here, spend some time in it, see how it can benefit you and those you love. So we've looked at gathering Israel on both sides of the veil, did we? Did we look at that one? Yes, we did, right? Somebody? Yeah, so gathering Israel on both sides of the veil, taking ancestors to the temple, and the temple and family history activities, what we're in right now, talking about. So what I just showed you right here was the Come Follow Me companion, and please use it and let us know if you have any other ideas to add to it. Then we have the Family Search in-home and online activities. And if you are not aware of these are awesome for the youth, and they can just go to those. There are such fun ones. And as you know, Family Search comes up with new things all the time, right? To help us with our families and help us engage children and teens, right? We love this, and let me see if I can bring it up. If you haven't seen this one is called All About Me, and it has what happened the year you were born. Now, teens can get into this, right? You can put in any year. This is the year I was born. Now you know how old I am. But it gives you the most popular song. How much was a first class stamp? A movie ticket? How many temples were there? This is so fun, and they can do it in any kind of group. They can put in their grandma's or grandfather's year that they were born. All those kinds of things are just fun. And that's just one of the many, many things that we can do. Let's see where we are. Okay. This gets my way up here. Okay, so back to the site. Going back to the Temple and Family History activities. Those are the online activities, and I'm just giving you a little sample. Then, if you don't know about this site, it's called the BYU Family History Technology Lab. And it is filled with tons of fun things to do. Genealogy is a game that takes information from your family tree and just has questions, and you can pick the dates, places, how many points, and all that kind of thing. Two of our grandkids decided they were going to get 100 point or 100 on this and learn everything there was to know. And I loved it. I didn't care if they were competing or whatever, because they were learning about their ancestors. Reverse indexing, that's often really fun if kids are younger and maybe don't get into the indexing. That's another fun thing to try. Wheel of Family Fortune is a blast. Relative Finder, kids can get really into this. Finding who they're related to that's famous. And they can choose over here on the left which categories they want, if it's prophets or famous Americans or movie stars, whatever. And this is just taking a little while to pull up, and you're probably familiar with this one, but I just wanted to remind you that there are these opportunities to engage youth in doing fun things. And when they're doing fun things, they're discovering. And and making these even little tiny discoveries about their family that can influence them to want to know more. So we can maybe wait for that one a minute and see if it comes up. Okay, and then the Church of Jesus Christ.org has family history activities for youth, and that's a great place to go also, right here. And then check out Children and Youth Discover. Okay, so there are all of these resources. They're just incredible. I'm trying to see what time it is. We might have time to watch this video. So this is a discovery video talking about how youth and children can make discoveries using Family Search. And we did this with a bunch of our grandkids.
Welcome to Discovery Detective Night. The family we're going to explore is Grandpa Rule and Grandma Jan Clark.
My mom and dad.
And as our grandchildren, we want you to be able to see what they saw, touch what they touched, read and hear, and taste what they tasted.
Our hope for you is to learn what they learned and feel what they felt.
And the place we always start is the fan chart. New wonderful features including stories and countries have been added to this fan chart, and each of you has an assignment to discover something about them.
Isaac, Eric.
Eli.
Something that's special to me about my Grandma Jan is all the fun foods she makes and the recipes she has. I was able to go on Family Search and see fun pictures and stories of when we made them. Another fun way to express my love for family history is to share about stories I've been through or experiences I'm having on social media for my friends to see as well.
I discovered something really awesome about my great-grandma. When and where she was born, and that she was married at 17 to her next-door neighbor. That really means a lot to me because that's about my age right now. And that would really take a lot of courage. They've been married for 68 years, and that is really amazing to me.
In trying to understand my Grandpa Rule better, I looked up some information about his father, my great-great-grandfather, Orson Clark. Through the Family Search Discovery website, I learned he served a mission to Hawaii, and I found a picture of him directing a mandolin band while he was there, which was super cool for me.
Some people in our family have not discovered how delicious bowls are. It's just a peanut butter and honey sandwich broken up into a bowl with milk poured over it. My Grandpa Rule grew up in the Depression and they were very poor. And since then it has become a fun family tradition and I really love them.
Being able to talk to my great-grandma through this app and being able to record her stories and read her journals has been an incredible experience for me. It's helped me discover and learn about my past, more about her and about the person I can become because of her example.
These tools are incredible, and they help us learn things that I probably wouldn't have known beforehand. I just had the opportunity to interview with Grandpa Rule and about his military service. It was incredible to learn a lot of things that I hadn't previously known and go deeper into these stories. I'm super excited to continue with this and to learn more stories from a lot of different ancestors.
So, can you hear me? Yeah? So when we made that video, we had been working on it for a day, and we received a phone call when we were finishing up filming from the hospital. And we were told that my father was there and that he was in serious condition. And so we told the children we would be back. We told our videographer goodbye. We rushed up to the hospital, and my father had been okay that morning. He'd been shopping at Costco with my mom. And because of a series of incidents that happened to him, he was now in critical condition and passed away shortly after we arrived at the hospital. So we called the children and told them what had happened. And these cute kids gathered around that timeline that they had made and wrote in my dad's death date, and then talked more about him and shared memories and cried together. And I thought, what a tender mercy that they had been studying his life on the very night that he passed away. But that's what we want for our kids. We want them to know their ancestors. We want them to love them and their living relatives and be able to find ways to connect and have discovery experiences. So we can help them by helping teach them to interview their loved ones, their grandparents. We can help them have the little discovery experiences like you just saw in the video. All these activities, they're just tons, and we don't need to feel like we're always entertaining the youth or we always have to be coming up. We just want with ideas for them. We just want to light the fire, right? We want them to see that it's fun, that it means a lot to us, and that there are promises for doing it, and they'll catch it. They do. They will catch the spirit of Elijah as they participate. It's John 7:17, right? We learn by doing. We put it into practice, and then it becomes part of us. And that's what we want for these youth. And if there are youth that you know that don't get onto the internet, there are internet-free activities, and here are some that you can do without going online at all to help them. I'm trying to see if we have time. Do you have to, these are all these videos are on the YouTube channel for the Family History Guide. So Ancestor Fruit Basket is one of those, playing outdoor games, charades. There's just fun stuff that you can just do with these youth to help them catch the spirit of it. Making Sabbath a delight, like we've talked about, taking ancestors to the temple, the promised blessings. Now, there are a couple of really fun ideas that we have on the Family History Guide and that some of our friends have put on. They have a site actually, and then I also have it on Facebook. So Sister Wendy Nelson offered an invitation at a women's conference where she said to some very overwhelmed women that she had talked to, she said, okay, these women were overwhelmed. There was a relief study president, called her, said everything was going wrong. There was too much to do. She just felt like unhappy. And she said, you know, I prayed about it. And the answer I got was to tell her, to challenge her or invite her to do family history for 21 days and see what happened. And of course, because family history is magical and the promises are real, she found that the relief study president called her and said, I don't know what's happened, but my women are happier. They're more adjusting to their lives. They're excited about life, and just went on and on. So there is a group that decided to put this into practice, and it's called the 21-Day Experiment. And you can find it, let's see, right here. There's a right here, 21-Day Project. And you can invite the youth to do this too. And they actually measure your mood before and after and kind of try to find out how family history is helping you. Okay, so they have these plans, and let me get this moved. Lead your youth to the teen plan. And on the teen plan, what it has is ideas for every single day for 21 days. And they're fun stuff and easy stuff like 5-minute activities. And they can chart their progress. They can go day by day, and it just has one little thing that they can do. So this is a fun resource for youth that I wanted to make sure you knew about it. And if you have any questions, let me know. The 21-Day Experiment, and the link is right there on the temple and family history activities for youth. And also on the Family History Guide, we have just a whole list of more than 50 5-minute activities that you can do. And I also have a link here, right under this picture of the family that was doing it, of how the 21-day challenge can work and award. And that's a fun thing to get going. If you have youth that are in leadership positions, or just want to get something going in a ward, they can do the 21-day experiment and see how that goes. We did that in our ward, and if you click that link right here, the 55-minute activities, this one right here, it'll give you some examples of how that worked in our ward when we did it. Okay, so, and then there's some more to enjoy here. So that's our youth page for Latter-day Saints, and it's an amazing resource, right? Yeah, and so we have all of these things at our fingertips, and there's probably a lot more that I could talk to you about, but I invite you to explore all of these. The last one here is service, and you can find step-by-step help with any part of like indexing or interviewing or whatever right here on this youth site. So you don't have to know it all. You don't have to feel like you don't know enough to help the youth have discovery experiences, because all the links are right here on this youth side for you. And there's even information if you have youth that are consultants. And I want to mention here too, that we have just had an incredible experience with being able to participate in Roots Tech. If you go to rootstech.org, you will find, and I think we probably have about a few minutes left, so just let me show you this. If I can get rid of this right here. Go to rootstech.org, and I counted, and there, if you search in the sessions for youth activities, right? And many of you know that there were over 1 million people that registered or watched Roots Tech this year because it was virtual. And there are a ton of things for the youth on here and a ton of ways to help the youth. So if you put youth into your search bar, and you can see, look at these. Youth serving as temple and family history consultants, inviting youth to discover local African American heritage, indexing, gather them home. This is a stake in California that's sharing their ideas with you. Then they have stories that youth have shared. You just keep hitting more and more. And like I said, there's like over 80 virtual videos that you can look at and share with your youth. This was incredible. And you will be able to watch all of these videos for an entire year. So there we go. So I will stop sharing this screen now. Thank you so much for letting me talk about one of my favorite subjects in the whole world. I love, and my husband and I love, and the whole Family History Guide staff, and all of you who are here at this meeting tonight, love the youth of the church. You love the youth worldwide. You are ones that can influence them. Thank you for being here and learning more about how to help them, how to influence them, how to get them engaged in family history and experience the spirit of Elijah. Because as we do all of these things, all of them, whatever we're doing with family history and temple work, all roads lead to the temple. And that's what we ultimately want, is for every single youth to not only know who they are and that they count and they matter and that they're part of something bigger than they are, but that they can be sealed to their families forever. We want their hearts to turn to their families, and we want them to be in the temple. Just in closing, Von Featherstone, he was the one who dedicated the Seattle Temple years ago. And he said, in part, the Savior will come and will honor his people. Those who are spared and prepared will be a temple-loving people. They will know him. Our children will bow down at his feet and worship him as Lord of Lords. Let us prepare them with the faith to surmount every trial and every condition. We will do it in these holy, sacred temples. Come, oh, come up to the temples of the Lord and abide in his presence. I just want to bear my witness that angels are close to these kids. They're watching out for them, and why wouldn't they be? Their angels are the ones that lived and loved and left a legacy for them. They are the ancestors that we want our kids, our youth, and our children to learn to love and to open that door to know who is helping them, because they are being helped by those who love them, who have gone on before. And the more we know them, the more we love them. And I leave this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you so much, Angel. Wonderful presentation and
You're
felt a
welcome.
great spirit there.